Hello my dear class 10 students, how are you all? I hope you are doing amazing. This is your Ekta ma'am here. Today we will be completing the English grammar in just 10 minutes. Yes, of CBSE class 10th. Yes, so we will be doing the complete English grammar in just 10 minutes my dear students. So are you ready? Let's begin. Before we start, we should be aware what topics are there in your English grammar and how much marks it consists of, right? How many marks are there? And apart from that, you should be aware which section you will be dealing it in. So there are three sections, section A, section B and section C. Section A is of your reading comprehension, section B is of what? Grammar and writing skills, section C is of literature. So when we are talking about section B, which consists of grammar and writing skills, grammar is of 10 marks and writing skill is of 10 marks also. So in grammar we have tenses, reported speech, articles, error detection, models, subject verb agreement, determiners, right? We have these, right? Now I have analyzed for you all the last 5 to 7 years question paper, previous year question papers, and I can tell you surely that question will short come from tenses, reported speech, articles and error correction. Okay, so let's start right away these topics. Okay, first is tenses. So in tenses, you should remember there is a tenses super formula. Now what is that formula? You have a time word plus the action order. That will tell you what is the tense. For example, if in any sentence you are given the event has happened, yesterday is given. So that means that action has already happened. It happened in the past. Something is going to happen. Tomorrow is there. So that means the event will happen in future. So you know short that the tense is future tense. Something that is happening currently. You will find the word currently right now, right? That means the tense is present tense, right? So whenever you have yesterday, ago, last, that means you have past tense, right? Simple past, that means verb second form is used. Then you have now, currently, that means the event is ongoing, it is happening, right? So that means present continuous. Then if you have tomorrow, next, what does tomorrow and next mean? Tomorrow and next means future tense, right? In future. And then you have since, for, already, just. Now these come under the present or past perfect. If you have present, then you will use has, have plus verb third form. And if you have past perfect, then you will use had and verb's third form. Okay, now there are some examples here. Mr. Arnold had been writing his last book for 4 months. There is 4, and I have told you when 4 is there, you will use present or past perfect. Now he has been writing his last book for 4 months. The process has been on, it has been going on from the past. So that means past perfect will be used, had been. Then I will move to really soon. Soon, basically the event will happen in future. The tense is future tense. Next is next week, something is going to happen next week, again future tense. Last year, the event has already happened, again past tense. Okay, so that's how you identify which tenses are there in the given sentence. Okay, next is again in tenses also. In tenses itself, there is one CBSE's favorite trick. What is that trick? If there are 2 past actions, my dear students, if in a sentence there are 2 past actions, so generally the first action is past perfect and the second action is simple past. Okay, so for example, he had finished homework before he went to school. So first you did the first action, that is past perfect. The second action is simple past. Okay, then if you have has, have, had, for has, have, had, remember if the pronouns are he, she, it, we will use has. If the pronouns are I, we, you, they, we will use have, right? If the pronoun is anything, if the sentence is past perfect, then any pronoun you have, we always use had, right? So for he, she, it, we will use has. For I, we, you, they, we will use have. Always remember it. Again, future time. Sometimes in a sentence we are talking about future. So one part will be your present and one part will be your present and the other part will be your future. Okay. So for example, the first part is present. When he comes, I will tell him. So basically in the present you need to identify it, right? So the first will come. The demand is in present and then the conclusion will be in future, right? models. Now in models you have some commonly used models. If you know the meaning of these models, you can substitute them in the gap filling section. For example, can is used when you are asking for ability or permission. Could is used when you have a polite request. May is used when you have permission possibility. If the possibility is very weak, you use might. If we have an obligation, if you cannot deny it, must is used. Should is used when you have advice. You have the thing you are saying is advisory in nature. Then if compulsion is there, you use have to. For future or habit, you use will. For example here, welcome to our website, you dash enjoy 10% off on your first purchase with code welcome. Click here to start shopping. So the event is going to happen, right? There is a future possibility, that is called future is there, okay? So the correct word will be you will enjoy. For example, in this one, our planet is precious and only we dash save it. That means it has the ability, only we can save it, okay? Subject verb agreement. Again, in subject verb agreement, there's a golden rule. If you have a singular subject, you use a singular verb. If you have a plural subject, you use a plural verb. If there's some tricky, if you are given in the sentence itself, it is given a number of, then that means the subject is plural. The number of means the subject is singular. You will use a singular verb. Each, everyone, someone is singular. A pair of is also singular. Next, the common mistake that most students do, my dear students, they do, instead of he, with he, I have told you, with he, has is used, not have. Then they get confused by the long sentences, right? Because in subject verb agreement, the examiner is trying to confuse you. The subject is already written in the first part of the sentence. Normally, generally, it is written there only. So you should only focus on the subject rather than the sentence length. Okay. Ignore the real subject, they look for the subject in the whole sentence, they look for it, and then they do the mistake, right? Because they identify something else as the real subject, but it was obviously not the real subject. I hope you're getting what I'm saying. Determiners and articles. In determiners and articles, one thing is short. If you have a consonant sound, you use a. If you have a vowel sound, you use n. If any specific thing is talked about, you use the verb. You use the article the. Okay. Next, these are the commonly used determiners and their uses. When some is there, some is used when you have a positive sentence. When any is used when you have any negative sentence or you are asking any questions. Much is when the thing you can't count. How much is the weather? You can't count the weather, right? Sorry, that is a wrong sentence. Weather you can count, the temperature you can count, right? Weather you cannot count, but you can count the temperature. Next, little is uncountable, few is countable, and many is also countable. Each is used for individual, every is used for the whole group, and all is used for the entire quantity. Similarly, you have some other, for example, always check the noun, if the noun is countable or uncountable, and then you check the sound. If you have vowel or consonant, then you use vowel, n, consonant, you use a. If there is a specific thing, check the meaning. If there is a specific thing we are talking about, you use the word the. Okay, next. These are the other determiners. This is used for near distance objects, right? And a singular object when you have one single thing. Similarly, that is used for far objects, far lying objects, and if you have plural singular objects, right? These is a plural of this. Again, the distance is near, but if you are talking about more than one thing. Similarly, those is a plural of that. And again, we are talking about multiple things, only then we use it. Next is reported speech. Now, what is reported speech? In reported speech, we do the 3 change rule, that is very important. Firstly, change the pronoun, then change the tense, and then remove the quotation mark, and in place of the quotation mark, add the word that, if, whether, whichever you find suitable. Normally, that is added, but if you have a question, so you add if or whether. In reported speech, for example, the direct speech is he said I am tired. Indirect will be he said, and then in place of quotation mark you add the word that. He was tired. You change the pronoun, you change the tense, was, right? Tired. So remember, always change the pronoun, change the tense, and then you remove the quotation mark, and in place of quotation mark you add that, if or whether. Next is editing or error correction. Every year two question comes from it. Okay, you are given a choice. Actually, you are given 12 questions, and out of these 10 you need to attempt. Okay, so in editing and error correction, the major thing is the the way you answered your question. You do not need to write the whole sentence. What you need to write is, you need to just make the column, write error on one side and correction on the other side. Okay, I'll explain. Firstly, check what the sentence is lacking. Is it lacking in, there is a mistake in tenses, articles, preposition, subject verb agreement, or there is a singular plural noun. Spelling is also there. If the noun is singular plural, according to that you do not have the verb. Okay, so it will come in this kind of sequence. One side error will be written, other side correction will be written. So what you need to do is always answer in this format only. Write the error, and what should replace the error, which is your correction, should comes like this. Okay, you answer in this format only. Format is very important. Again, you have here, please refrain by standing near the door as it could lead to an accident. So please refrain. With refrain, the preposition used is from. Please refrain from standing near the door as it could lead to an accident. Okay, now the last is gap filling. It is actually a combined one where we talk about models, articles, tenses, everything. So they all comes under the gap filling category. So the smart method is, firstly read the full sentence, then identify which grammar topic we are dealing with, and then check the subject plus tense, and then choose your correct word. Okay, so actually the tips and tricks are given beforehand. They are all suitable and very much more than enough for gap filling. For example, I noticed that a type of social dash used to notify or present information to a specific set of people. So here we know conversation is between two people, convenience is used for transportation, communication is when is done with multiple people. Okay, so communication is the correct word. Similarly here, dash our world for you and me. So we know with preserve the correct preposition will be used as to preserve, and after to we have an infinitive verb, to preserve. Okay. Last, the ultimate grammar, combining all of the important tricks. You should solve PYQs. The last 5-year PYQs are very important, and if you have the time, you solve the last 10-year PYQs, and there you will find the grammar questions. Just solve all of them. You will identify the pattern, which topics are being asked most in the CBSE exam, and the level of the questions, you get an idea from there. So always solve the PYQs, identify the patterns, right? Learn those patterns so that you are able to, so that you can score 100 out of 100 in your upcoming English exam. And that was it. Take care and all the best for your boards.